Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
I must have had the app on my phone, but I didn't realise. And when you launched your network in Sydney, it propagated on my. It's a bit of feedback here, but it propagated on my car.
Oh.
So, I really enjoyed it ever since. But what I particularly like is that I feel part of a community and Australia-wide, and it reinforces, the fellowship that we have in Christ. And years and years ago, I holidayed down the South Coast, and there was a local community radio station down there, and I don't think until today have I found such a community and part of a family in not just in a local coastal area, but Australia-wide. So that in itself is awesome.
I first had vision when I went out back Queensland to Charleville, and it was wonderful. When I went back east to Brisbane, I could only sometimes tune in where I was. And then when I went over to Redcliffe, for some reason, I couldn't tune in at all. And it was terrible. And after about 18 months, one day when I was particularly ill, and I left a 10-second message for my chappie asking him to pray, my radio station that was tuned into another station, like my radio CD player that was tuned in to another station, suddenly tuned into vision. I had turned it off and left it at one setting. When I turned it on, it was on vision, and it was wonderful, really, really wonderful. And I just thank all you guys for all the good work you do. There's so many of us that just depend on hearing the love and the goodness in your voices throughout the day, because we're clinging to Jesus and we know God's goodness, but some of us don't have a lot of people in our lives. And it's lovely to have you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I got introduced to Vision with somebody who was instrumental in getting the Moolumbar station set up.
Oh, tell us about it.
So he was an engineer at the sugarcane mill, and I think with a few others, they sort of, through Vision, helped set up the Moolumbar transmitter at the Uniting Church there in the town. And since then, I've been listening to it, so it's quite a long years. I don't know how many now, but not long after Moolumbar was started up.
And what do you love most about Vision, Jacob?
Oh, it's the teaching. It's the talkback, especially the interviews and that. And
2020, do you like 2020?
2020 is a great show. Yeah.
It is a great show.
Yeah.
So Neil does a great job there, and even his fill-ins. So, but because I have it on in my workshop all day while I'm working, so it's just, I find it strange if I'm in the workshop and I haven't got Vision, because either the station's gone out or, like this morning when it's bucketing down rain, that interferes with the receiver and gets washed out, so to speak.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? When something goes down, you almost notice it even more. What a blessing it is to have when it comes back on again.
Yeah. Because the transmitter where I am here in Benora Point's upstairs in my house. So.
Wow, you are committed, aren't you?
Oh, we know it's not a transmitter problem. Jacob, what made you think or decide to pop a transmitter on your roof?
Well, I was sort of in a situation with the Moolumbar one that if the station went down, I sort of be aware of it and have my own business. I could just duck up to the church and problem solve it. And then I was asked to do the same as I was living in Benora Point at the time. And then the owner of that site was selling his house, and I offered my house. They checked out the feasibility, and it worked out it was quite a good location. So I was happy to get the transmitter put here.
Well, it's amazing. Jacob, in my head, the transmitter is massive. I'm imagining in The Simpsons they had like this huge aerial put in the house one day. How big's the transmitter?
Okay, basically the transmitter about the size of a DVD player type thing.
Oh, that's tiny.
So yeah, they're not big at all. The receiver is actually probably smaller than a DVD player, and the receiver is not much bigger.
Oh.
And so those two parts, you need a satellite dish on your roof,
Mm-hmm.
and you're probably familiar with those big aerials on four-wheel drives that they have for the FM.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it's just one of those on the side of the house, and that's your transmitter.
Okay.
So it's not that hard for someone to get a transmitter on their house or on their church building then?
No, it's very easy.
Well, and you're guaranteed to get good signal. Is that right, Jake? Unless it rains.
Yeah. So if I'm not getting good signal, then there's a big issue.
Amazing. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for calling in and telling us your story about how you first connected to Vision and why you love Vision so much.
Thank you for that, Andy.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.